Weekend Trucking, and we have something new that we're diving into and trying out in this video. So on a normal trip for me, I will from Iowa drive out to Elkhart, whatever yard in that area, and then I'll head back west. But I have a little extra time on this haul, so I'm doing two things that are new to me. One, I am picking up a camper and taking it to North Canton, Ohio, which is going to be somewhere in like the 300 to 500 mile range. And then I will drop it off and head back to Elkhart to pick up this time it's going to be a Colorado, I think it's Fountain, Colorado, run to take there and then head back home. So the second part that is new is the Ohio dealership is a 24/7 drop location. So I could get there at midnight tonight, drop it off, and then be on my way. So that's going to be awesome because I don't have to, because I'll get there somewhat late tonight. I have no clue how that works in terms of dropping at whatever random hour of the night. But it prevents me from needing to stay overnight and waiting until the next morning to drop off after they open up. So I'm excited to try this out, and a little bit of logic to why I'm experimenting with this is, one, it's easy when I'm like away from home. It's easy to get stuff done, so to speak. Once I get back home, there's a lot of shit to do, and I find it harder to get out to go get another camper. So I'm like, hey, this is gonna add 6-7 hours onto how long I'd normally be gone. And if it pays somewhere around the $500 range, well, that could cover all of my gas for all of the trip. And then when I make, when I bring in $1,800 from, say, a Colorado trip, I really don't have to subtract fuel from that because I'm using this shorter run to do so. And then with it being a 24-hour drop location, again, that just makes it to where I don't have to wait overnight and then in the morning to drop and head back. I can drop it, head back, and then maybe I end up running out of time in Elkhart, and so I load up the next morning there after my tin is done, and then I take off back west. So we'll see how this goes. I'll keep you in the loop. I'm intrigued to see how the 24/7 drops work. I will keep you in the loop. Next time you see me, I'll be hooking up to the Ohio camper. Okay, so we're in the yard, and now you're looking at the BOL to one, spot the name brand of your camper, and then you'll look for the serial number kind of written on the bottom, and then you go and verify it to make sure that it is the camper that you're supposed to be picking up. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna find it, get hooked up, and be on the road. All right, we are unhooked here in Canton, and it is late. And so what I'm going to do is start the trek back to Elkhart, to the next yard for the next trailer, and just maximize on the time that I have left and kind of play out, okay, hey, here's how I want to spend the 10 hours so I can pick up at this time and go. Okay, checking in with you real quick. I had just got off the phone with the dealership in Canton, just to make sure that, I didn't screw anything up, really, in that, they got everything and all things were good. So they got it, everything's checked in, paperwork is submitted on their part, and then at some point within the day, I'll end up getting an email from the company, just with kind of that final report and final payout. So there was, I think, like right around $50-some worth of tolls, and so for such a short little distance, that's the most total tolls I've ever paid on a given route. But again, it gets reimbursed, so it's irrelevant. Leave money on your comm data card, and it doesn't come out of your personal funds, so to speak. But a little 200-ish mile trip, and the goal of it, I'll know after I'm done with the Colorado trip, is that pays for all of my gas expenses while I'm gone for the weekend, doing that trucking life. So that's it. We are close to the yard. That's where you'll see me next. One of the bad things is when you are unloaded, you're paying for all of your tolls. Hi. Thank you. So that for just my truck, not having anything hooked up to it, was basically $15. I don't remember, 14 something. I think I've heard some companies will reimburse tolls when you're headed back or whatnot. I'm new to this, I don't know. But that would be one of the things where, if you can find a route that maybe adds a little extra time to your trip, but you don't have to pay those tolls if that's a consistent route you're doing. Like those little things add up. So how can you be more profitable? Well, it's figuring out what little things you can be in control of. So if it means an extra 15 to 25 minutes to your trip because you're going around a toll because you're unloaded and it's not going to get reimbursed, well, that's $15 for every trip that you're doing if you're always coming back. So just some little things to think about, but we are almost to the yard. Be there shortly. Well, okay. Another freaking toll. So we'll see how much this one costs. Again, and my goal of this little short extension to what like my normal kind of runs would be is really to cover the expenses for fuel. So what I may end up finding out is, hey, don't go to Ohio, but maybe it makes sense to head back towards, Illinois, although you still have a toll there, but there's an easy loop around that one. It doesn't take much time. Or go down to Kentucky or up to Michigan, where maybe you're not going to run into as many tolls on the way back. I don't know yet. Hopefully that's the last toll. $3, so no, it's not bad. $3.60 to be precise. All right, we are loaded up and ready to start heading out west. So the goal is actually that we'll get back to Iowa, and then there is trick-or-treating this weekend. There's no weekend drops for this place, so it'll sit in Iowa, and then I'll drop it off Monday, Tuesday. All right, so you guys are gonna get a look at my horrendous backing up skills. Not necessarily one of the skills you have to be an RV transporter. You really just gotta be able to drive forward for the most part. I'm probably gonna end up going up into the neighbor's grass. Go for it. This usually takes forever. I'm pretty, okay. Start over, I guess. I don't know. And you got traffic everywhere. We live on a somewhat busy road in our little town. So just gotta wait. All right, here we go. Am I good? Okay. The good thing about my wife is she will straight scream, yell if I get anywhere near hitting something. So I'll instantly stop. What? I don't know. Okay. Boom! Got it done. Holy shit, I hate backing up trailers. But it'll be parked for the weekend, so there's no good places to park it around where we're at. So yeah, there's that. Welcome to my second home, maybe it's my third home now. My truck probably fits somewhere in the loop there with my actual home. But finishing some pre-trip training and then heading off to vote, and then we will be hooking up the camper and heading to Fountain, Colorado for a drop tomorrow morning. Okay, we just officially unloaded that thing. For the most part, went really well and traveled great. I actually got high 12s to low 13 miles per gallon on the last stretch throughout Kansas. So I may actually, when I look at Colorado routes, look at doing some of the Colorado Springs. This is Fountain, Colorado, and just see if maybe that's a trend versus traveling on I-80 through Nebraska. You know, I don't know. There was a $6 toll, but again, reimbursed. So that's it. The next time you will see me, we are going to break down, did it make sense to do that little short run to pay for all of the gas? So I will be back in Iowa. Hey guys, I am on my way back home, and I had stopped I needed to do an outdoor workout, and on my way to Colorado, I noticed that the Kansas rest stations are just like on another level compared to other states I've been at. And then one of the cool parts is there's these little trails throughout there. But then, I don't know if you can see it, back here, right there, there is a cool little bridge that takes you back and run all the way throughout and back. I just thought I'd stop and share. So if you are in RV transport and you are making your way through Kansas and you need to break up your drive, you're getting a little exhausted, maybe you just gotta go pee, pull over. I'm on I-70. Pull over, just go walk around, enjoy the view. The leaves are changing. It's just pretty awesome out here. So that's it. I promise you're gonna see me at home, and we're diving into did it make sense to take that short, I'll call it gas run, to pay for the gas of the trip. All right, see you guys in a few. So we are back home, and I wanted to run through the numbers for you on did it make sense to pick up a short run in hopes of it covering all of the fuel expenses. So this is the spreadsheet that I use to analyze everything. The two right here, so the North Canton and the Fountain, Ohio. So we come over, we look at, what our gas expense was in terms of, like our Colorado run. So my goal was to make it to where, essentially from the profit of that shorter run, I'm not paying for any gas. So it just makes me more profitable. Yeah, there's the trade-off of time, some wear and tear on the truck, so to speak. Not so to speak, there is. But so did it make sense? So here we go. Here's the numbers that we have. Payout, so right here, we were at $443.75. So I zeroed out the normal 15% maintenance that I allot, and I shift over into a maintenance savings account because I'm really just tacking this onto, the main run of the weekend. So zeroed that out. I had 157.90 cents in gas for that Canton run. It is to be noted that one thing that I do is, so in between the runs of the Golden Colorado run and the North Canton run, like let's say that I'm pretty much on E, what I will typically do when I go to fill up before choosing my next run is I'll fill up at the best price, but I just tack that onto the next run. So I've been contemplating splitting it between the last run and the next run, but at the end of the day, I'll have a total itemized expense line of what I've spent on fuel. I actually have that down here. I've spent $2,700 in total on fuel since I've started. So I had $157 worth of gas there. So essentially, there was $285 in profit from the shorter run. So did it make sense? We look right here. I had $281 in fuel for the Colorado run. Now we need to factor in with the Ohio run, and I'm just looking at notes here, there was a total of, let's see, I can do it on here. So 281.73 was my Colorado gas expense plus 157.90. So I had a total of $439.63 in gas in total. So if you do the basic math, if we can get this to move a little. So right here, 281 or 285 was the profit. Okay, hey, well, it didn't cover it. Your goal was to just have all of your Colorado be profit. Fair enough. So let's dive deeper. And so what we'll do is we will subtract the 285.85 from that 439, so from our total gas expense, and we get $153.78. So this is the number of unpaid fuel that we had from that trip. So $153 worth of fuel between two trips where, let me hide that, where normally I'm spending over 280. Normally it's like 3 something. So this one 377, up here was 350. These are both Colorado runs. But one thing to be noted is, like, I put a little comment over here, was I got 13 miles a gallon loaded throughout the entire state of Kansas. I don't know if it was just because it was less wind, trailer size wise, nothing really is different from other trailers that I've pulled before. But so it goes from a $280 gas expense to $153 for only adding about 7 to 8 hours worth of time into that, that one weekend trip. So was it worth it? I think so. When you weigh out the pros and the cons of it, I think it totally makes sense. It was a really short run, and with it being a 24/7 drop, you're really able to maximize your time that you're able to drive and get back to Elkhart and whatnot. Things to be noted, like I've mentioned earlier in this video, was it may make sense to choose a different drop location on that shorter run. So I had 16-ish or so dollars, I think, in unpaid tolls on the way back. So finding a different direction, even if it's going back west and then coming back to Elkhart, but whether it be around the same price or maybe even a little more in terms of the distance traveled, you're going to end up making more. So the trade-off to that is you get too long of a trip to cover all your expenses. You essentially did 2 full trips. But I think that as long as time isn't an issue for me, it'll be something that I'll continue to do, and I'll just try to figure out where the best locations are to go. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. I hope this was helpful in terms of, maybe you look at those short runs on the load board and you're like, who would do that? Well, if it makes it to where a normal $200 to $300 gas expense is now only $100 and you're more profitable because of it, maybe that just makes it so that you can, have more money in your pocket, provide for your family a little more, a little better, and only add a minimal amount of time to your day. So like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and be on the lookout for another weekend trucking video coming soon.